Okay, so welcome. Now we are online or we are live online. So welcome to the online session of setting up of fabrication lab or FabLab in Sri Lanka. Now this is the second session on digital manufacturing series of discussions or online sessions we have been having. This is the second session. Last time we had a discussion about general details of 3D manufacturing or digital 3D printing or digital manufacturing. Today we are going to focus more on how we can have this setup in Sri Lankan setting, but not mainly as a corporate or commercial organization, but more like a community or social enterprise where we will be able to use digital benefits of digital manufacturing in a developing country environment for empowerment of a selected community or um, how to use technology for social empowerment of a community. Okay, so we have expert from Sri Lanka, Maldives, and United States. So I would like very briefly introduce yourself one by one. We'll start with Vaishan. Unmute your mic and speak.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Gretchen Fernando. So I'm from United States, and right now I'm in Seattle, USA. And so we started this series of discussions about 2 months ago. So we had the first talk about 2 months ago, and then so I plan to have the second talk today, and then today I think it's going to be like a short talk, and then we will kind of do a brainstorming session, like from said. And again, thank you to everybody for for your interest and keep participating on these discussions, and we have many to come, of course. So don't lose your enthusiasm in this. All right, so I'll pass it to somebody else before I begin the talk.
Priyanta? Can you introduce yourself? I don't hear you. Can anybody hear him? Or we'll start with Tilan from Maldives.
Hi, Gretchen and Chaminda and my dear friends. I'm Tilan Fernando from Maldives. Looking for like say, putting the ideas to your effort. So hopefully this will be a fruitful discussion between us.
Can you also explain what you do in Maldives and what is your background?
So I'm the head of IT in Adaran sector, which consists of 4 hotels. Actually, if you take the Adaran, it's one of the biggest hotel operator in Maldives. So I'm looking the vertical of information technology. So that's the background. If you take, I graduated from University of Peradeniya. Then I did my master's degree in University of Moratuwa. So that's all about me.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, am I audible? Hi everyone, can you all hear me? Yeah, I'm Tilan Jayatilaka. I'm joining from Sri Lanka, and I'm currently working as a manager ICT at Good Hope Asia, where in my scope that I'm overlooking the ICT infrastructure in geographically separate dispersed company. So I'm expecting to have a interesting discussion about this digital manufacturing. I was there for the first session as well. So that's about me.
Thank you, Dilan. So, my name is Chaminda Hettiarachchi. I'm the host and the coordinator of the session. I work as a researcher and lecturer in ICT and digital marketing. So, this for me it's a way of connecting other people as well as learning something new to my field. So, thank you all of you for joining. In fact, we have two more people already joined. I think they dropped because of the connectivity issues. Malmi, also ICT professional from Sri Lanka, and also Priyanta is a senior consultant in digital technology. So I hope they will join during the session. But we have also invited people from the public to join if they are interested. I'm not very sure if anybody is. Now, I think the main issue is still the technology is still new, even though we are using it for last 2-3 years. Now, still people have issues with the connectivity, not only Google Hangout, but their own issues with the mic or Hangout add-ons or network. So there are different issues. So therefore, we do this not just only for today, but this is more like for the future. This will be recorded and anybody can watch later, or even for our own reference, as well as now when we start project, this will be our main, the resource, part of the resource, and record of what we are doing. Okay, so that's the basic idea. So I think now maybe Nishan can talk about what is FabLab and why we won't have something like that in Sri Lanka, and the details as a setup of setting the ground for our discussion. Yes, patient.
All right. Thank you again. And so let me share the presentation that I have. And then I'll go to the presentation, and then we'll open it for everybody to contribute with their ideas. So let me start the screen share. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay. So FabLab concept is basically this picture shows high-level concept of FabLab. So FabLab stands for like Fabrication Lab, and I kind of mentioned about this in my previous talk about 2 months back. Yeah. Sorry.
It's not visible. I think you're not sharing the screen.
No. Yeah, we can see that. Maybe it's a screen problem.
Okay, now okay.
Yeah, because that's just, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So if at least one can see me, that means I am sharing. If you have to find maybe something else in your computer. All right. So as I said, I shared this concept in my last talk. So basically, the idea is that we have a lab, and that contains basically everything that you need to make anything you want. That's basically the high-level concept, and this is a concept that is came up by the MIT in the USA, and they have already implemented this, and they have so basically we have a already tested framework that has been implemented around the world today. So the purpose or the objective of this
conference. It is why it is on time.
Did someone say anything? I'm hearing things. Sorry.
If you are better than talking, huh? Go ahead.
Okay. So I heard somebody saying something. So
no, it's okay. Let them to ask questions now by typing, so everybody can see the question. Somebody can ask.
okay,
Please,
yeah, interrupt me anytime when I talk. But my talk won't be more than half an hour, so it'll be quick, and then we'll go into the interactive discussion. Okay, so so this is an idea that came up by the MIT and that has been implemented around the world. Now, in a Fab Lab, when you think about a Fab Lab, it's not just only 3D printers that we have in the lab. So there are many other elements like, as you see in here, you see all the elements in a Fab Lab. Sharing and open thinking. So basically, we will be sharing the knowledge and data around the world. And then so we will have like 3D modeling software in the lab, and then we will have digital control machines, so like 3D printers plus any other CNC routers and any numerical control machine and laser cutters, water jet cutters, and so on. So all the sophisticated manufacturing equipment. And then there will be other, like even some traditional tools and machines that are made out of either wood, metal, plastic, and then also there will be like small tools like pliers, hammers, so and stuff like that, stuff that we use in our conventional manufacturing. And then of course we have um, electronic material. Plus, actually, we will have other materials as well, but electronic material mean like the materials that we use in the 3D printers, and also not only that, there will be like a lot of electronics that we need in making stuff. Because today, when we make anything, there's electronic in it, in any sophisticated product that we make today. So, so those are the basic elements. Let me go to the next slide. Um, so, so basically, the idea of the FabLab came with came with the concept of sharing things. In other words, especially sharing the technology by many people around the world, and then utilizing that technology towards everyone's well-being and making things and making everyone's life better. So, as I mentioned earlier, MIT, developed this principle about 6 years back, actually. So, when you take a single Fab Lab, it's a small local scale workshop, but it offers very sophisticated capabilities like digital fabrication. And so basically, in a Fab Lab, you can find everything you need to build what you need to build. So it provides all the capabilities that you may want in making anything that you envision to make. So so there's a international organization on these Fab Labs, and they are well connected. Then today there are more than 100, more than 200 in fact, Fab Labs around the world. So you see the website here, FabLabInternational.org, and when we have a Fab Lab, we can join them, and then we can share the knowledge, and they will be sharing the knowledge that they have in operating the lab. And I'm not going to read through this, but this is like they have a charter that is set up by the International Fab Lab organization. So here I'm especially want to focus on mention about who can use a Fab Lab. Basically, these Fab Labs are available as a community resource, offering open access for individuals as well as scheduled access for different programs. So when you think of the programs, we can have different programs that are associated to a Fab Lab that we. I'm not going to talk about that here, but we can talk about that later. So in a Fab Lab, the users should take responsibilities like safety and operating it, and then contributing their knowledge and documenting the knowledge and providing instructions and helping others and so on. And basically anything that are invented in a fab lab are open to anybody. But like if there is someone that who wants to protect it as their own intellectual property, then we can set up a certain legal framework to do that as well. But it's still the core knowledge about any invention should be available to anybody to use it, to use it in the future for any other product. Also, we can facilitate businesses use the Fab Lab, and there are certain that they have. There are certain locations where they do that, and they charge basically in that case. Now, this chart we don't have to exactly follow this, but this I'm just giving you some of the information that they have today. But these are not strict requirements to be a member of the FabLab International FabLab organization. But these are some things that they are doing today. And so this is a map where it shows the spread of the Fab Labs around the world today. You can see there are many in the Europe, 177 in the Europe area, and this is the US does not have many, like about 40. And this like the cube lab symbol shows that that means those are the labs that are in the planning stage right now, and the yellow ones are the ones that are not yet implemented but almost about to implement, and then the green ones, and then the 177 you see on the Europe, those are all well, out of 177, not all of them are implemented, but more than 100 are implemented today. Those are in operation today. So as you see, it spread everywhere. We don't have one in Sri Lanka, of course. That's what we are trying to achieve in the future. All right. Now, so that's basically a high-level overview, and I didn't mention that I read about some of the activities in the Fab Labs, in some of the Fab Labs, especially in the remote areas like Afghanistan, and also some well-developed countries like Sweden, and they are doing a lot of great things. Especially in Afghanistan, there was one project where they developed all the internet routers within the Fab Lab itself, including all the electronics and everything basically. And then they set up like a Wi-Fi network for several villages in Afghanistan. So what they are doing is the Fab Lab Fab Lab has the internet connection through satellite connection, and then that internet connection is being distributed to several villages from the Fab using the equipment that were fabricated in that lab. And then in Sweden, there was a lab where they developed a lot of medical supplies to help basically developing nations, and it's like a community project where they were providing medical supplies that are developing. Even in Afghanistan, sorry, I'm hearing some noise. Oh, is that the echo? Are you getting an echo?
No, it's okay.
Okay. I'll forget about the echo that I'm getting in. So basically, when you have this FabLab set up, you can come up with any idea and make it a reality. You can build products to help your community. So in other words, to start even in a company or new product, and you can market it if you want. But you can use the FabLab to initially come up with the idea and then test it out. So basically, the FabLab is a new means of innovation. Like you can spark the innovation among communities from bottom up. So, anybody can contribute, regardless of the educational level and regardless of the resources they have. They can join a FabLab and use the resources and come up with new things, or in other words, we can make it. Now this is not about the FabLabs, but this is a very important thing that when we try to do a community level project like the FabLab, I think it is better to have an understanding on this thing that I'm going to talk about here. Some of you may have definitely hear about a book called 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. This is by an author named Stephen Covey. And especially if you have, Chaminda might have heard it, especially because if you are taking management courses, most of the management schools teach about this. So the idea is not, when we are little, like we are basically dependent on a lot of people. We are dependent on our parents and friends and teachers and so on. But then from that dependent state to go to an independent state. Today, if you talk about us today, we are mainly independent. We can live on ourselves, and we can earn money and we can live ourselves. But to get to that state and to be independent and have a successful life, we have to have we have to practice certain habits, and especially there are 3 habits that we need to practice. And if you do those well, then we can get we can achieve a private victory for ourselves, and we can become independent. And we all have done that already. So here, if you look at habit 1, it's called be proactive. That means we need to take actions, and without being laid back, we need to take actions. We need to seek for opportunities and then act upon those opportunities, and then work towards establishing goals. So the habit 2 is actually about the goals. Begin with the end of mind. So we being proactive and then establishing goals. And then we plan for achieving those goals. So put first things first, in the sense that means that we have to have plans to make our goals a reality. So if you do this correctly, then we can have a private victory and we can become independent, and we can have individual success. And everybody in this discussion today, have achieved that. To have achieved that independence here. Now, after that level, if you don't go beyond that, then you become bored later on in your life. So we need to go beyond this one, and that is what drives a community project like the one that I mentioned earlier, the FabLab. So what we are trying to get is like a public victory. So to achieve a public victory, we need to practice these other habits. Now that's where we need to focus in the future, and then when we do that, actually we will be interdependent between each other, not dependent but interdependent. So So habit 4 means think win-win. That means when we do something, that this should be a win-win for everybody. So the FabLab has that framework. I mean, it's a win-win situation for everybody. And then habit 5 is like seek first to understand, then to be understood. So we need to be able to understand others first, and then understand their need, and then act accordingly, and then when we understand others very well, then we can achieve our objectives better. And then the habit 6 is like synergize, and that is the most important thing in a project like the one that I'm talking here. We need to find synergy. That means we need to be able to collaborate between group and synergize their ideas and come up with, like, I may have one idea, and then you may have another idea, and then another person may have another idea, and then out of these all the ideas there may be a best idea. If you combine everything, that's the synergy that we need to find, and that's what I'm trying to do in these discussions in today, and then also in the future ones. We need to find synergy among all the peoples and all the groups to have a public victory, and to have a successful public project like the one that I'm talking about. And then there's these other ones, like the habit 7 is sharpen the saw. That means we need to, to do all this, we need to, develop ourselves every day, and that has to happen every time. Like we have to, continue our education, and read basically, and then do exercises, and all those things are there. But what I wanted to mention is, like, we need to, in order to get a public victory, we have to focus on these as a group, and then develop our ideas and then plans for the future. All right. Having said that, so I just want to share that, if you want to talk about this particular thing, we can talk. Of course, I can talk in another session, but I just want to touch base on that one. Also, if you happen to find this book, just read it. And also, I have a PDF version if anyone is interested. So I can send you that if anyone is interested to read. All right. Now, so let's get back to the Fab Lab. So this is a slide that I got from the previous talk. So as I said earlier, so the Fab Labs provide widespread access to innovation. So now in the Fab Lab we can have, like, we can have a lot of engineering applications and sparks innovation, and connects people around the world, provides education, and can also create competition among a lot of products, and develop new products to compete with others. And it helps to build leadership skills for people who are working, and then it can help to create entrepreneurship. So it can have entrepreneurship, can increase the community quality of life, and we can share the technology between communities and communicate with it. So same slide I had in the previous talk. So what this is my idea. Of course, you don't have to go with this. But what we are thinking is to have a social enterprise, and then we don't have any enterprise, but it's a social or for-profit enterprise. We need to develop a business plan, and in a social, we need to run it as a normal business. Although it's a social enterprise, we have to run it as a business. So in a social enterprise, before we start a social enterprise, we have to have a business plan, and these are some of the elements that we need to focus on. So one is the opportunity. So we have a great opportunity here, because know that in Sri Lanka, many people do not have access to technology, and people may have ideas or may not have ideas. That also helps people. Some people are completely um, idealess. So, but uh, we can make those people awake again with providing the opportunity for them by establishing uh, a lab like the FabLab. So that we could have a mission in doing that, and then we have to have a theory of change, you know, and then our solution. So there may be more than one solution for our solution. And then we have to have a good team. Especially to start with, we have to have a good team, and then we have to, we have to, talk within a certain context, because the one I mentioned earlier is very broad, and then we have to kind of get into a certain context, especially like, how to start, and then how to operate in a certain within certain limits. So we have to have a certain context that we need to work with. And we need to identify the legal structure that we can operate. There may be legal challenges and so on. And then we should be able to scale it beyond just one plant. We should be able to, we can start it in one location and then we can spread it around the country. And then also we should do measuring of the results, and then we should know about the risk, of course. And then we should have like a financial plan, like how do we sustain financially for the future. So we need to think about these elements, and there may be many other elements that we need to include in this one, in developing a plan for the future. Hello, did I lose everybody?
Yes, we are listening, and everything is good.
Okay. I'm hearing is there a phone? Okay.
Hello. Oh, look what I
Yeah. Chaminda, can you mute the phone?
Thank you.
Yeah. Chaminda,
yes.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. During the presentation, I think better to mute the phone. That way, there won't be disturbances. So anyway, so in the future we will be focusing on these things and developing a plan. That's what I'm planning to do with your help. We cannot do any of this. So we need to have a group of people working with synergy to make it happen. And also, to be successful, we have to have the synergy and mutual again, this one I shared in the previous talk. To sustain the FabLab, several models for a combination of these. So it can be like the FabLab can be run but just doing based on grants will not move. I mean, maybe we will be able to establish it, but it will not sustain as a Chaminda. But there are some models that can sustain that way too. So you can think about those and discuss that, and then the other one is like institution embedded. You can have like a pilot prototype workshop, and then so we can focus on education. So we can focus on producing and some stuff, and then like we can consider the FabLab enabler for the technology in helping other companies, and then it could be an incubator for business creation and individual entrepreneurs, and then it could be networking the people and other FabLabs, and So basically, all these could be done all together, or we can pick certain, certain models and then work on those models. But I am open to talk all these and then basically pick up the best model that we can operate for establishing a FabLab. All right, so I think that's all I had for the talk, because I did not want it to be a long one. I just want to have like an open discussion with everybody, and then so I would like to have volunteers to help us in this this journey. This is of course, I understand this is not a project. There may be many challenges, many obstacles, but we need to keep hope, and we need to be excited about this, and then we need to each needs to contribute for this for this to happen. In other words, for this to become a reality, of course. So with that, I end the talk here, and then so I will hand over to Chaminda, and then maybe Chaminda can facilitate the open discussion. And I suggest that from after this point we can end the recording. Or I don't know, maybe we can keep the recording. It's we can decide on that as well. And then what I would like to have is like capture any ideas that will be shared today, and then those ideas will be important in coming up with a plan for the future. All right, but before we do that, if you have any questions for me, I would like to answer the questions, or give my insights on the questions or the comments that you may have.
Okay, thank you, Greshan. Now I think we can keep still thing online, and if you are not actually if you have, but I think we should ask some clarification question about what Greshan explained about FabLab, how to go about it before discussing about the structure. So
right.
We can ask Malmi to pose your question either by chatting or by asking.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not, I mean, I missed the first part of the presentation, so I'm not very much clear about the FabLab. So is it, I mean, when we set up the FabLab, is it, are we going to do it for a particular industry, focusing on, because as far as I read from the website, the link that you have shared, so it means all the researchers should be in a FabLab, which means the machinery and all the stuff, the programming resources and everything. So are we going to cater, are we going to focus on one industry and set up the FabLab, or is it like a generic sort of incubator that everyone can facilitate?
Okay, I suggest Greshan, we take 2-3 questions and then you can answer together. Okay?
Okay. So any other questions? That's a good question. So I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
No. Yeah. Tilan, Fernando, you already asked a question. You can repeat the question.
Yeah, actually, my question is now. You show the model, one of the model that came by the MIT. So in that, there is no like a process component, like how to develop the process to like say accommodate all these kind of things. So that's the question that I have.
Did you get it? Greshan, did you get it?
He was breaking up, so I could not exactly understand the question.
So here.
So the as per the first slide, as per the first slide you shown us, there is a model for FabLab. In that there are many components. So
right.
But I'm asking, where is process development component on that? I didn't see that.
Oh, that was, yeah, okay. Wow. So I'll first answer that question, and then we'll go to the Malmi's question. The process development is there, of course. The picture I showed is like a, it's like a, you know, abstract model, of course.
Excuse me. Now
it's
we'll
not
ask all three questions, and then you can answer together.
Okay. Okay.
So Tilan, you can go ahead now. Jayatilaka. Tilan, Jayatilaka. We don't hear you. Mic is mute. Yes.
So my question is, what qualifies as a FabLab?
Can you elaborate on the question?
Basically, you mentioned that like having a FabLab, and this also relate to the Tilan Fernando's question that the model is shown, but my question is that what are the prerequisites that we should, if we are going to start it in Sri Lankan context, what kind of prerequisites are there? So how are we going to start it? And mainly who and what qualifies as a FabLab? That is my question.
Okay. I think now you can answer all three questions.
Okay. Let me let's see. Okay, let me start with the second one, about the processes. So was your question related to like process of setting up, or process of running the lab, or process of making things?
Mic mute, Tilan, mic mute. You don't hear you. Unmute
This
the
is
mic.
also related to the last one, the slide before the last slide, because now you have shown the several, like say, several things that will be affected to the thing of a public lab. So now you know if you set up something, you must have a change plan. It was there, but I'm asking, there must be a process. Like say, it can be anything, but we must have a process to develop or process to implement anything.
Right.
That's what my question is.
Yeah, we need to have a process, and that process, yeah, there are some process guidelines in the International FabLab book, but that's not a complete process, and we have to come up with the process to develop it, and then to develop, after developing it, I mean, to start it, and then after that operating it, and also like any other processes that we need to have in developing products using FabLab. So all those has to be done. So we don't have a clear-cut process to like how to do it, how to start it. There's no clear-cut process. There are some small guidelines. Those are not complete processes. That's we have to develop that. Yeah.
So is that okay? I'm posting. Go ahead.
I think I mean, maybe we can combine the questions and answer, and then maybe you can add once again. Now, I also want to add something to Tilan's question. Now, now he asked about how to define FabLab. Maybe now, are there possibility that we start our own way and then connect to the FabLab association, or should we get approval, or what is like how we kind of define how we start, how we initiate, how it qualifies or disqualified to be a part of FabLab, or can be a different model. Yeah.
Yeah, we can be a different model and still become a member of that organization. The benefit of joining them is like we can do the knowledge sharing, and we do not have to exactly follow their model, or they have several models, and we don't have to follow them exactly. But if you join them, we can share the knowledge, and we can share our knowledge, and we can get their knowledge, and they, that's the benefit basically. Otherwise, we can run it on ourselves, and we can come up with any model that we want to have, and we can start it any way that we want. It does not have to be like, in my first discussion I said that MIT is providing equipment. We do not have to buy anything from MIT either. There's no requirement like that. So this is like a very open thing about how to start. Like there's no clear-cut model that we need to follow.
Gretchen,
Yeah.
sorry for interrupting you. Just I'm adding something to the Chaminda's the same question.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as my understanding, that the Fab Labs have to share a common set of tools and processes, and prototyping facility is not what is expected from the Fab Lab, right?
Yeah.
And but my question was like how to qualify is like are there any criteria for the selection criteria? Because I just wanted to know whether that the public anyone can access it. Do they allow such or?
Yeah. Okay. I understand the question basically.
Okay.
So there are some core capabilities that the lab should have. Like for example, like if you have several, let's say you have a CNC machine, like a numerical control CNC machine and a 3D printer. That will not exactly qualify because it does not have all the core capabilities. You cannot. What they are looking is like, do you have? I mean, can you basically make anything with what you have? So basically, they have a set of core requirements that they have set up. Like there's a list of machines actually that FabLab organization has posted, and those equipment should be there. Because those machines will provide the core capabilities to making it anything, and also that should be open to the public and should be able to share the knowledge. You cannot hide things. Anything that is developing the Fab Lab is open, and then only they share their knowledge, and then we can share. We have to share our knowledge and inventions that we may have. So that we have to operate under that framework, but to start, we don't have to have everything. But initially, we may not be able to get the membership, but we can start with, like, say, one 3D printer, for example. And but that does not qualify as a Fab Lab. Just having a 3D printer does not qualify to be a Fab Lab. But we can start with that, and we can keep adding. And then at a certain stage, we can say, okay, we have these capabilities now, and they have a steering committee, and they will make a decision based on that, our core capabilities. They don't have a clear-cut definition about this is what you need, but they have like a recommended set of machines. But just having just one machine or one 3D printer will not qualify, of course. But as we develop and as we make things, as we develop our processes and our, if we can make any certain projects and make them successful, then we will be developing our core capabilities to achieve those goals within the Fab Lab, and then we can become a member. That's one thing, and the other way is like we can become a member even without a Fab Lab, and then we can get their help in setting it up, and then finally we can start sharing the knowledge. So we can become a member right now without a lab, and then we can get all their support in establishing this planning and then establishing. So, you can do it both ways.
Okay, Gretchen, now also if you can connect that to Malmi's question, now should we focus towards particular industry, or now also now we can also be fit oriented, or can we be like social enterprise, or just simply a company? Those options are also possible, right? Based on your business plan. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So basically, we are open to focus on a particular industry, but I think it's better if we can focus on like what we, I think, in my view, what we need is to make new inventions, or in other words, developing new products that are necessary for that are like suitable for the country. Like I have ideas. Like one thing that I'm thinking is this is just one idea. I'm just throwing it out. Is like uh, developing all the equipment that we need to convert the gasoline cars. Gasoline mean the petrol cars, of course, in Sri Lanka, to electric cars. So we can convert these cars to electric, and then we can develop the products for that in FabLab. That may be one program we can run. It's just an idea, and that's one. So we can focus on a certain program, and also we can leverage the lab towards providing the education for the schools plus any other interested community members within that community, and because that education is important in running a program like the one that I mentioned about converting the cars to electric. We have to have a very high skilled group of people to do something like that. So if I start a program like that right now, it's very difficult to run. We don't have all the core capabilities to do that. So I think at the beginning, what we should think about is developing some core capabilities, like in terms of human resources, and then at a later stage, tailoring it to certain industry, or developing several programs that tailors to several industries. But initially, I don't think we should focus on a certain program or industry, because I think at the beginning we should focus on developing core capabilities in terms of human resources, like providing the knowledge on 3D modeling and then 3D printing and then other manufacturing processes. But then if you do that, then we have to have we may not be able to sustain, because we cannot have the money to do that, over and over and over again. So we should be able to operate the lab, like beyond the, like, let's say we can find the money to start the lab, like for all the equipments and all that. But then after that, we have to have somebody to take care of it, and then we have to have some educational classes about to teach the people how to operate the machines, and then how to design things and so on. So those things need a lot of resources and money, of course. So initially, I mean, if you just focus only that, then again we cannot sustain, because we need to have a lot of money to sustain in that case. So what I'm thinking is like coming up with a model. Initially, we have some, let's say we have seed money to start, and then also some little bit more seed money to operate for a 6 months or so, and then after that we should be able to sustain by ourselves, because we cannot get the money, the grants, or to sustain forever. After about 6 months, then we can think about a small program, like I think last time somebody said about some thing on the arts and crafts or fashions, something like that. We can sell easily, and we can develop products and sell them, and then we can earn money that way as a social, within the social enterprise framework, and still we can continue to provide the education and provide access to the lab to everybody, so that they can make their innovations. When we educate them, there may be innovation, of course, within that. So now for the education part, we can help from here, and then we can get some help from International FabLab organization. But the key thing is like how to sustain and how to earn money within the social enterprise framework. So initially, I'm kind of worried that if you focus on a certain industry, it's not going to. I mean, we don't have the core capabilities to focus on a certain industry today. So I think we should open with a wide way. We can open the lab with any possibility and with education in mind, and then pick up a certain industry or a certain around a certain industry. We can develop a program within the Fab Lab. We can have a one program. Uh, like just like any, if you take any company, we have so many programs that are being operated within that company. Same concept. So we can start one particular program, and then in that program we will be focusing on a certain product or products within a certain industry. So I think that's my idea.
I think, yeah, I think, thank you, Greshan. Now, I think that's, now we have to visualize this in such a manner that now we are developing a plant, or we are developing a, not really plant, developing organization with core competencies, as you said, in terms of 3D printing and, the process, the transparency, where stakeholders can, particularly schools, universities, others can, involved. Now, as a part of that, you have different programs that can be revenue generating. For example, producing, I don't know, to some kind of manufacturing industry, or customer requirement by a particular company. So those things come later as a part of our business model where we offer our services. But generally, at this stage, we are talking about what should be overview, how we should operate, where we get revenue, not really revenue, but funding to first to initiate and then sustain. And for example, human resources, legal framework, you mentioned organization structure, risk management. I can't remember everything, but setting of a social enterprise is the main focus here. So later, now of course, as a part of that, you have to have 3D printing, server connectivity, resource management, counting, everything. Okay, any more? Maybe we can go for one more round of clarifying questions before discussing about how to structure. Or else we can start sharing, ideas based on, I think, Greshan's slide. Greshan, can you add the slide again, that business plan or components, or maybe we can based on have a very quick, of course we need to do a lot of homework to go into detail, but if you can just have some idea sharing on those points, then maybe we can consolidate. Anybody want to say anything?
Yeah. So
I think yeah, opportunity and mission we can decide later when we have the discussion or plan. But basically that should be now. For example, now in order to get, if you want to go for funding and international donors or something, you should always focus on this as a contribution to the society, particularly post conflict society, development, community empowerment should be part of our our mission. And then of course, these emerging country, theory of change, our solutions or our expertise should be there. And also we can discuss about, now that means basically we should be focusing on like a social enterprise or non-profit as our main focus. And I think discuss about our expertise, our team, how we should go and build, what kind of people we need, and then yeah, context also be part of our the social orientation and legal structure, scaling. These things we can discuss. Anybody want to share some ideas? If you have any experience of setting up something like this, or anything, your expertise, your interest, even challenges, how maybe problems.
Yeah, that should be added actually here, because this is not a complete list of all the elements. This is some, yeah, challenges is one part of it. There may be big challenges.
What particularly you can contribute, your which area you are interested, and what kind of expertise you offer. Also, you can very briefly. This is not binding, huh? Just to get some ideas. Maybe you start with Malmi.
Chaminda, can I make a?
Yeah, sure.
We have to do that as well, but can we first have like a volunteer who is good in like capturing the ideas and important things that we discussed, and then putting it into like documenting it, and then having a report at the end of the discussion. Because that is very important. We need to keep a record.
I was thinking now since this is a lot of work for the session. Now I was thinking that to do offline once you have the video, so I can somebody else to record based on the video. Then also your presentation and everything. Because if you are going to do it now, I mean I I take some notes, but if you assign somebody, that will be distracting the attention. So we'll just go through that and then later try to report or document it.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's fine. But what we need is like from not maybe need from this discussion, but from the next one on, we need to have like a documentation of all the key points, and then that's how we need to develop the plan.
Yeah,
we are to record not just the video recording, but the document. Okay, so that's fine. I'm fine with that. Okay, I'll give it back to you.
Anybody free, Malmi or anybody else? There are only 3 here, so it's not a big deal.
So I have one more clarification I need to do.
Yeah.
So in that slide, there's one component called our solution. So does that mean what you have explained with regard to my previous question?
Yes.
Because we have to have a vision or a mission depending on our solution, because we can't have a overall. First, we need to decide what we are going to focus on.
No, I think it's a different question, because our solution is now, let's say for example, I'm just saying now we are going to talk about, let's say in a rural area, people's difficulty of livelihood. Maybe they don't have jobs, or they don't have expertise to have self-sustained lifestyle. So now it's going to be the opportunity or change we are going to make. That is, we have to define our solution based on that. So it's an empowerment project.
Now, our solution will be like the establishing the FabLab and then providing an educational framework in that case. Educational framework for those people to get the education on these the new technologies, and then make them part of the innovation process.
So it doesn't distract us from by producing, let's say, supplies or some product to industry. So those things come now. I think we're visualize this as we set up this entire thing as a social problem solving organization. Under that, there can be different programs. One will be on public relations, one will be on empowerment, one will be on, of course, empowerment will be the main focus, but education, training people or community development, then serving to industries,
right?
Kind of things, different things.
And we can have like a product development, another area. Like, different many attractive products that are that are good for the Sri Lankan, that are good in Sri Lankan context.
So that comes under scaling strategy.
Yes.
No, scaling strategy will be like, we start one lab. This is my idea. Scaling strategy would be, well, yeah, that will also be scaling strategy. But what I thought was, once we have one lab, then scaling it to, the other parts of the country. But scaling strategy will also be, yeah, exactly what we just mentioned, like different programs. Initially, we will not have all the programs, like, high-tech product development may not be there initially, but we can consider it as a scaling strategy for the future.
Okay, Greshan, can we focus on that the previous next slide where we talk about different revenue generating models and everything? Maybe we can start there.
Yeah.
Seed funding or something. I think next one I don't see. Can you go to the next slide?
I did. Do you see it now? Can you see it now?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet? I'm seeing that now. Oh, sorry.
Take some time, I think.
Yeah, I think there's a delay.
Okay, can you read it till it comes?
Okay, so so basically there are three high-level models. Like one is grant-based, and then institution embedded, and then like a pilot prototype shop. Those are the ones that they have currently. Actually, now the proposed models that this is again I took from the International FabLab website. The proposed models that they have, maybe some of them already do have this. Like one is like basically product development, producing things, and the other one is education.
You have to redo that that slide because it's still not coming. Maybe you
Okay,
now it's okay. Now it's okay.
No, it's not.
You can make it bigger, a little bit bigger. You can from the bottom.
Can you see it now?
Yeah. But can you make it bigger? I see in the screen there's some kind of scaling or full screen. Okay, grant base. Yeah, okay, it's too big. Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah. Okay. Now these are the current models that we have basically.
Yeah. Okay.
And what we need to do is like we will start with the grant base. So the grant will be from here. I can work on that from here. So we can, the seed money will be like a grant base, and then at the beginning we can do the grant base with like a prototype shop at the beginning, and then we need to.
One quick question. Now I think now we as individuals, or maybe we can later form organization or something, but grant based will not work for us because we are not established, let's say, organization. Now maybe we can get grant for running the lab, but now if you want to start something in a smaller scale, we should be, and also we really don't have institutional embodiment, because in that case either you have to approach a university or a government organization, which is also difficult because things will be delayed. Now I think given the constraints we have, we can think about prototype shop. Now of course that is beyond our planning and everything. We can have prototype shop and then simultaneously work on other elements.
Yeah, that's what that's exactly what I thought. We can start with prototype shop using like a grant from here. Grant in the sense, grant not like a formal grant. I can send the machine from here, and we, Chaminda went to my home the other day. My home is not being used today. I mean, there are some people living, but we can get that location to start with. And that has like electricity today, and there's a phone connection as well, but we need to get an internet connection, and we can work out those things. and then start as like a prototype shop.
So basically what you are saying is you can basically find resources, main resources at the initial stage with our volunteerism or knowledge or what additional things, but Gration will be like the main donor to start.
Right. For the prototype workshop, I'll be the main donor. What I need your help is operating it, like volunteering it to operate it there, and then provide the, all the necessary, support to operate it. Like sometimes you can help with some training materials. I can have somebody to take care of it locally over there. That's also I can do. But that person may need, not may, but do need directions, like what to do. And then starting from there, then we can develop the plan to scale it up to the level of a FabLab. FabLab means to have the core capabilities that we briefly discussed earlier. So we can start with one or two machines. One may be a 3D printer and one other like a small lathe machine, something. And then start some programs there, like small programs, like educational programs. I mean, then while we do that, then we can at the same time we can have discussions like this every 2 weeks, however we agree, and then we can see how it's been operated, and then at the same time we can develop that business plan. The elements of the business plan we discussed earlier, and then we can focus on future models like product development, access production means product development, and then education with the broader view, like with the participation of schools or universities, and then other community organizations or individuals, and then also we can look, in the plan we can think about enable it to the industry or the education, and then supporting any other existing products or educational programs, and then also we can in the plan we can have like the inventions for the future, in the future, and and then network will be happening anyway. So all those elements can be incorporated. If we start with this one, with me as the donor, and then you help is basically operating for it, and then we need to develop the business plan. To start with this one also, now my question is this: now, do we have to have like a registered non-profit organization or something of that sort to start the prototype shop?
Okay. Now I would suggest now we can go offline, and maybe half an hour we can have like an informal discussion about particular issue. Of course, we need time to work on all these things, and our people will have to do homework. I'm sure they have already done some homework, but maybe based on this framework, if they can do some thinking, and then during the next next session we can discuss about particular things, suggestions.
Right.
Now, if you don't have any direct contribution, of course, if you have, then we can talk about them. Otherwise, we can make broadcasting off, and then have a informal chat for half an hour. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm okay. So, yeah, what we will need like today we have like six people, right, in the discussion.
5 people.
5. Okay. So I think we need to for Chaminda and and others, need to talk to the your friends and other people that you know that may be interested in something like this, and get their participated in the future discussions. And that we need more people, of course. We need to have a lot of expertise in doing this. So we have to focus on that area as well. And then yeah, today we can end the live discussion here, and then we can have a informal discussion for the next half an hour, as Kevin suggested.
Any comments from Tilan or Malmi before we go offline?
I have a comment. Like say, if you take the grant-based fund with education, so that might work well in Sri Lankan context, because now first we have to have a awareness on the FabLab or the manufacturing in the industry. So that would be a good starting point. So then we can move to enabler level, where we will help the industry by supporting and by helping them to develop such a thing. So what do you think, Greshan, on that?
Yeah, that will be a good starting point. But what I don't want to happen is I send some machines from here, and then you start it, and then people will start to play with it, and basically it will end there. So that I don't want that to happen. So that's the starting point. But then we should not stop there. We should plan for scaling it up, and then making it a full-blown FabLab plus. Making the enabler, and then also education, and then also the production programs I mentioned earlier, and also those other any other programs that can sprung out of this one. So those things should continue every day, but without just having the prototype shop and stopping there. That's what I don't want to happen. So that's why we need to have the discussions continue. With a regular basis, because this has to, I want this to be like a social movement, so that many people, we can attract many people towards making inventions and developing new products for the society. So as was it Tilan or
yeah,
Yeah, as Tilan suggested, I would like to start there with a prototype shop from basically a grant from myself and several others, of course. So we can start there, and then we can continue these discussions to develop the plan and other core capabilities within the lab.
Yeah, why I'm suggesting is that there must be a community where who speak about this, and who must go to the industry and perform using this kind of technology. So then only the things will build. Otherwise, I mean, there can't be any building points. So we want to train some people and let them to work to the industry, and then only the things will happen. So that's my idea actually.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree completely. What I'm saying is, from the past, there has been projects. Well, not exactly the same project, but then I have tried to do several things with the University of Peradeniya. Provided some stuff, and doesn't go anywhere. Just they play with it, and that's it. And that's what I don't want this to happen. I mean, just having a small workshop there, and then people play with it, and doesn't move anywhere from there. Because what happened in the past was we gave some equipment and some software and stuff, and we did not have continued discussions and continued engagement with them. So they just play with it, and they don't come up with anything. So just
Yeah, I was
after.
now now even though logically the educational, the first you educate people and go with that won't really work with my experience also, because you have to have something to show to them. Now if you are like the government or big organization, that kind of approach is fine. But when we want to say something, maybe even if you want to get the attention of National Science Foundation or Institute of Science and Technology or anything, you have to have something to demonstrate.
Right.
And also now when we are working on this is like a very new now. If you look at the expansion or the presence of Fab Labs in different countries, that is very high. From very developed country to Afghanistan, I don't know, in India. So we are like already lacking. No, why is that now? Why can't such a big organization introduce this kind of concept for Sri Lankan people? That has not happened. I don't know why. So now, if you want to uh, introduce that or educate them, at least we have to have a 3D printer, and place this is working. So that will attract the people who are really keen on working on that. Yeah. So that I think we will kind of think about that. Okay. Any other?
If you take a technology to introduce to an industry, like say, there must be two ways. Like one thing is the word of mouth, like the people have to speak about it, and other thing is industry must use it. So that two have to go hand in hand, because if you take big technological people, what they do is they produce some graduates or training or in the like the industrial certification, while they are pushing the thing to the industry. So that will work very much well, I guess.
Sure. Now, this is applicable also with Google Hangout. No, now people who are connected today are already who have worked on Google Hangout. Now there are other people who really want to join, but they can't connect because of the technical problem. So education is also kind of is a key issue of technology. The point is, if you don't have something to show, now we have this thing to show, then they know that it is practicable. Otherwise, they will think, okay, there are some problems, or this is not, worth. There are just a lot of excuses. We are not, driving. We just only adapt later. So, as you said, it's very important now. A lot of people now, I only notice somebody asking what is FabLab. People still try to understand, what's happening. So, hooking people is very difficult at the beginning. But if you can, that is why I invited people like you who are really expert on your own field. It is also relevant to our work. And then we, as a small team, if you get together and do something concrete, then we can demonstrate, we can expand, scale, and get attention.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Completely agree. So I think we should start with the prototype shop, with the grant, and then then get some. That way we can attract some people, of course, and then develop the interest among the people, and then spread the word and get more people involved, and then that way we will have more strength to develop, move forward with other plans, of course. That I agree. But
Malmi, any comments?
Yeah, I think I need to do some more bit of reading on that, and come back later, because at the moment, like, I'm not very much familiar. I mean, 100% familiar. So I need to do a little bit of reading and come back.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But I got a idea. I mean, basic idea of what is going on, and what is a Fab Lab, and the things like that. But to start with that and give some insight or some good idea, so I need to do a bit of reading.
Yes, that sounds good. Yeah, we do need to do our homework, of course, in doing something like this, because it's something new, of course. and you know, there are a lot of resources that you can find in the internet on these, and there are videos and you know, other readings. Also, you can go to the International FabLab organization website that also has some information, and then in terms of social enterprise, then again there are a lot of resources in terms of in developing a plan for a social enterprise. There are a lot of resources that you can find in the free resources. So I think that's a good point. I think I suggest that all of us do that. After today, and then when we meet next time, I think I hope we can meet in a 2 or 3 weeks time again. Without from first one to second one, it took some time because we had the issues. So let's have the next one probably in. I would suggest in I don't know. So maybe so Chaminda, what do you think?
Yeah, now I want to add something here also. Now, one of our colleagues who is not available today because I think he's traveling, but he has already said to me, the gentleman Buddhika, he's from Georgia Tech. He has already visited 3D manufacturing trade fair after our discussion. So he's also very keen, and now we are getting educated. And also Ajanta, who is also not present today, he visited this place in Sri Lanka. So he has actually. He keep on sending me new developments in 3D printing in the UK and other places. So now, as a part of our last discussion, got their interest. They intensified their interest. So as Malin mentioned, it's very important that we do our homework, look at what is happening in other countries, and also the concept of FabLab, how it's different other places, other models. Now, I personally thought of actually visiting one place somewhere, and I don't know where. Wherever I go next time, I will definitely visit. There's actually going to be a trade fair in Barcelona, I think, this year, but unfortunately I won't be able to go. So this way, we should all get familiar with different models, different factors, because this is going to be the future, the future of manufacturing, future of how we look at technology, and also I will privately talk with you. There is a ICT4D next conference, international conference will be in Singapore. That's like the largest ICT4D conference in the world, where we will talk about this project. All of us, we can either go there, some get funding, or even we can do a hangout from there. Then we can also communicate to, like one time I told you, we will meet Bill Gates also. So we will be able to get a good audience to hear what we are planning to do in Sri Lanka. So there are different ways we can get education as well as disseminate knowledge to other people. Okay, Tilan. Any suggestions, ideas?
First of all, I think I should thank Chaminda sir for facilitating this, because this is the first time we heard about this FabLab, first time. And thanks for bringing this idea to Sri Lankan context, because this is the future, the wave of developments. Because I was just going through a few articles and also a few YouTubes while Greshan is explaining this thing. So I found that really interesting stuff that is available on internet. So I think we have to do loads of groundwork, homework for us to fill the gap which into these FabLab concepts. So again, I wanted to thank Chaminda sir, and also really appreciated the effort that he has invested. And again, thanks a lot for Greshan, because he has done a wonderful, really good presentation using this Google Hangout. And this is really good. I think we should continue it in future as well. So the last slide which he has shared, which gives us a message that about selecting the right team, uh, not that one, the mission and the right team, because it's all about, yeah, Gratian, yeah, that's one, yeah, the opportunity, mission, and also the theory of change. First of all, if we can find out exactly where we wanted to have this concept, that is the first step to initiate this. So this is really great, and I am very honored to be a part of it. So thanks again, and looking forward to continue.
Thank you very much, Tilan. I think this is very important because now we all are pioneers of this, at least in Sri Lankan context, as usually the case for the other things also. But now one of our role is to hook, people who are interested and who can, contribute. So if you can expand our team, not necessarily that they should voluntary work full time or something, but some kind of contribution, some kind of dissemination of knowledge and expertise. If you can individually also do, uh, that is really a great thing. Now, in a country where people are still trying with, old way of fixing problems, maybe change in the constitution, change the executive presidency. Of course, those are needed, but we have to. I think Geshan mentioned once. We have to look at these issues what we are facing beyond the box or beyond the standard available solutions. Now, 3D printing or digital manufacturing is a new solution to existing problem of poverty, disempowerment, and other skill problems. So if we can introduce this, of course, this is hard work. Sometimes we will fail even, but if you can establish, if you can try to have some kind of project or program or even concept adapted to Sri Lanka, I think that's really a great work.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. So, so I, to close my remarks, I would like to come back to this slide that I had earlier. So we all, have achieved this private victory. Everybody in this hangout session has achieved this private victory. So we want to focus on this one, and that's what we need now. I mean, while we maintain our public victories, we need to move up in public victory to a public victory level. So, so in doing that, the main thing I want to find is this synergy that I saw today. That is very important. We need to have the synergy to work in a big project like this one that I'm proposing. So, I'm very happy that I kind of feel that synergy from even this from this group, and I hope that it will continue, and then we can multiply our ideas and achieve some great things in the future. So I look forward to working with you frequently on an ongoing basis until, and I would say we shall never stop. In fact. So we will continue this journey based on our within our capacities, of course. And then our capacity may increase. You will see that once you start contributing, your capacity will increase ultimately. So you may be thinking right now you don't have time or you don't have knowledge or some of those thoughts may already be there in some of you, but you can overcome those easily once you start working on something like this. All right. So with that, again I would like to thank all of you for your continued interest and keeping that interest to move forward. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you very much, Keshan, and thank you very much all of you for participating, spending very valuable time. Most of us is very late in Sri Lanka and also same in Maldives. but I think it's a really a good session because due to few reasons. Now, all of you are experts, as I already told, and also people who are committed. I know since I have worked with every one of you, I know you are committed people who can do things, and these kind of energy and expertise should be focused on doing bigger things. That is why even though number is small, I think it's a good start. And also now we had this session also successfully, even though people got dropped, but we didn't have any technical problem in terms of our recording of the session. And also, finally, now I have seen people have already started looking for information, and people come to the session also have done their homework. So I see a lot of education itself has happened already here. Plus, now this video or YouTube recording will be also useful for other people to before. Last time also we had a lot of views of I can't exactly remember 300 something for our first session. I think this can be also used for educating others. So I also invite you to share this and ask other people to do. Now, but at the same time. There are also challenges because we have to also work on getting ourselves educated on the subject when we also have other work to do. At the same time, uh, my experience is translated technology knowledge to Sri Lanka take some time. There's a time gap always because we are island people, and then we have a lot of structural problems of not being able to adapt. Even though we see there's a good solution, but still it will be difficult to establish or mainstream into institutional arrangement. So those things are there, so we can't expect quick wins. So we need patience, we need some lot of effort, some kind of losses in terms of our own energy, effort, and even finance. But when there's a person like Gresham who is doing these things voluntarily as a part of his contribution back to motherland, I think we will be able to do something at least to make other people educated. So thank you very much for all of you. We are going offline now, and I think we have almost spent about 2 hours, but we can have another 15 minutes of informal chat. So, all right?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.